It was a cold, rainy evening in the city of Ravenswood. The streets were slick with water, and the dim glow of streetlights reflected off the wet pavement. In a small, dimly lit apartment on the third floor of an old building, Detective Samuel Carter sat at his desk, staring at a photograph. It was a picture of a man with a wide, mischievous grin, a man known only as the Jester. The Jester was no ordinary criminal. He was a master of disguise, a trickster who left behind a trail of riddles and puzzles. He had been terrorizing the city for months, pulling off elaborate heists and always managing to escape just as the police closed in. But what made him truly dangerous was his love for the game. He didn't just steal for money, he did it for the thrill, the challenge, and most of all, the laughter. Detective Carter had been chasing the Jester for what felt like an eternity. Every time he thought he was close, the criminal would slip through his fingers, leaving behind nothing but a taunting note and that infuriating grin. But tonight, Carter was determined to end it. He had a lead, a real one, and he wasn't going to let it go. The lead had come in the form of a playing card, the Joker, left at the scene of the Jester's latest heist. On the back of the card was a handwritten message, "Catch me if you can, detective. The game is far from over." The Jester. Carter had studied the card for hours, looking for any clue, any hidden meaning. Finally, he noticed something, a tiny smudge of ink in the corner. Under a magnifying glass, it revealed a set of numbers, 8, 12, 5, 1, 19, 25, 18. It was a code, and Carter knew exactly what it meant. Using a simple cipher, he decoded the numbers to spell out the word HAAWSTER. It didn't make sense at first, but then it hit him. It was an anagram. Rearranging the letters, he came up with THESWART. The Swart was an old, abandoned theater on the outskirts of the city. It had been closed for years, but Carter had a feeling it was where the Jester would strike next. He grabbed his coat and headed out into the rain. The Swart Theater loomed in the distance, its once grand facade now crumbling and covered in ivy. Carter approached cautiously, his hand on his revolver. The front doors were slightly ajar, and he slipped inside. The interior was dark and musty, the air thick with dust. Carter's flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing rows of broken seats and a stage draped in tattered curtains. As he moved closer to the stage, he heard a sound, a soft, melodic humming. It was coming from behind the curtains. Carter stepped onto the stage, his heart pounding. He pulled back the curtains, and there, sitting on a wooden crate, was the Jester. He was dressed in a flamboyant purple suit, his face painted with a wide, exaggerated grin. In his hands, he held a small, ornate box. "Ah, Detective Carter," the Jester said, his voice dripping with mockery. "I was wondering when you'd show up. You're just in time for the grand finale." Carter raised his revolver. "It's over, Jester. Put the box down and surrender." The Jester chuckled, a low, sinister sound. "Oh, Detective, you still don't get it, do you? This was never about the money or the jewels. It was about the game. And what's a game without a little drama?" With that, he opened the box, revealing a small ticking device. Carter's eyes widened. It was a bomb. "You see," the Jester continued, "I've always wanted to go out with a bang. And what better way than to take the city's finest detective with me?" Carter's mind raced. He had to act fast. "You're not going to win," he said, his voice steady. "I'll stop you." The Jester laughed, a loud, maniacal laugh that echoed through the theater. "Oh, Detective, you've already lost. The timer's set, and there's no stopping it. But don't worry, we'll go down together. And the city will remember us forever." Carter took a step closer, his eyes locked on the Jester's. "You're wrong," he said. "I'm not going to die tonight. And neither are you." With a sudden burst of speed, Carter lunged forward, tackling the Jester to the ground. The box flew out of his hands, and the bomb skidded across the stage. Carter scrambled to his feet and grabbed the bomb, his hands trembling as he examined the timer. There were only seconds left. Thinking quickly, he hurled the bomb into the orchestra pit, where it exploded with a deafening roar. The force of the blast knocked him off his feet, and he landed hard on the stage, his ears ringing. When the dust settled, Carter looked around. The jester was gone. All that remained was a single playing card, the Joker, lying on the stage. On the back was a message, "Better luck next time, detective." The jester always has the last laugh. Carter clenched his fists, frustration boiling inside him. But as he stood there, staring at the card, a small smile crept across his face. The game wasn't over. Not yet. And one day, he would have the last laugh.